Let's talk about balance, shall we? Just to point out, this video has no structure, no editing, no clear script. It's just me talking. It might turn into a rant. It might be a very beneficial rant to hear. It might be something that you'll benefit greatly for. And you will use this information throughout your life, and you'll have a better experience in sailing through life because of what I say in this video. Or this will be a failed video and you will hear me talk for a couple of minutes and I will confuse you more, and let's just hope that doesn't happen. So, balance. I've thought about it for quite a while, and I thought, how do I teach people how to have more balance in their lives? And then I thought, well, you can't really do that because everyone has such individual lives. Everyone experiences life in such a different way that balance might just mean something else to them. And you always hear people saying, oh, you have to have a good life-work balance. You have to have good balance. And no one really knows what that means. And neither do I, fully. But this will be just my interpretation of what I think of it. And I'll try and explain my idea in the best way that I can. Because I feel like it's correct. I feel like this is what balance is. And I also feel like not many people know of this, because I've never heard anyone say this before. So it's something that's only in my mind. I've never heard anyone say this information before. It's like literally just from my brain. So that's why, I mean, it might not be accurate at all, but you'll be the judge. After watching this video, I'd like you to comment down below, please don't forget, of what you thought of what I said. It's quite important to me, because if you thought that I've said some complete and utter trash and some garbage talk, then please let me know and say, whatever you said is not correct. This and this is actually balance. I actually think this of balance. And my opinion is, better than yours. Do say that. And I will read your comment and I'll say, okay, this guy has a different view of balance. Take it into consideration. But this is my view. And this is why you clicked on this video, to hear someone else's view, right? So, here we go. Balance. Balance is confusing. Balance is something that is very often talked about, but not completely understood. People say that you need to have a good balance in life by doing the correct things, by not doing too many negative things, because then you will experience life in a negative way, right? Well, I don't think so. I think that balance comes naturally in life. I feel like life is balance. I feel like the universe, right? This might sound crazy. This might sound like some hippie idea, but listen. The universe has its way of correcting balance. We don't have any control over it. If you think about it, we don't really have control over many things in life. Like, okay, I want children, right? I want 7 children, and I think this is going to make me happy. Okay, this is an idea. 7 children, okay, happiness. I want children. I want someone to look after me while I'm old. I want someone to bring up in this world, leave something behind. Have the experience of raising the kids. It's definitely not an easy experience. It's very difficult. Raising 7 kids is not easy, and this is only a hypothetical idea. I'm not actually saying I want 7 kids, but just for this video purpose. And I think that this is going to give me a positive experience overall in life. Positive balance. Well, what if 2 of those 7 kids end up dying? Well, that's pretty bad, That's going to bring some balance to the world. It's such a positive experience having 7 kids, but 2 of them dying, I mean, that can put you into some pretty dark places, right? Kids are really difficult to raise. They get sick. This restores some kind of balance. Obviously, you wake up, they might jump around your bed, they wake you up and they're like, oh, daddy, you're having a great time raising these kids, but chances are very high for them to get even like flus, and this is a worrying experiencing for a child, an adult, for a father. Your concern for your children is very, very great. So this restores balance. And it's completely out of your control. What's in your control is to have those children. And you might think that this is going to be an entirely positive experience as a whole. That even the negative things might offset, or the positive things might offset the negative things. But will it really? Your children might turn into drug addicts. You might fail at raising them. The current world agenda, the negative narrative that they're pushing onto the world, might inflict your children's brains into a different way of thinking than you have, and this might completely annoy you, and you might even cut ties with your children at some stage. You know, some ideologies are quite strong, so this might be a negative experience. Let's bring another example. You want to take drugs, right? You want to inject heroin. Extreme example. You want to be a drug addict and you want to inject heroin. So this is going to be a positive experience for you, right? Such a high. You know, this is like the drug I think of when I'm thinking of drugs. It's like such a high. You know, you hear people of saying it's such an experience. You have like bliss, right? But what you have after this bliss is a withdrawal symptom that like you can barely function because your dopamine levels have been raised so high, literally higher than ever, that like when you come down from this drug, it's like you're depressed. You're pretty low. You're very, very low. And then you want to take this drug again because, you know, to restore balance, right? Because such a negative feeling, you want to feel positive again. So you take the drug again. You feel, you know, not as much dopamine now, but you feel some dopamine. And you come down again. Then you're withdrawing again. And I mean, I try to think of things in life that give you constant pleasure without the negative, and I couldn't find any. Because too much of everything is a negative. Too much money, you're too materialistic, and your life values change. You start to take pleasures in, you know, materialism, and then you just don't appreciate what you have. You get too many possessions, you buy too many cars, you wear the most expensive clothes, and you stop appreciating those clothes, you stop appreciating those cars, you just get used to them. You know, you buy yourself this Lamborghini, then you buy 10 more. And why do you need 10 more? Just because, you know, you can. And will you get bored of your 10 Lamborghinis? Probably. The chances are, yes, you most likely are going to get bored of your 10 Lamborghinis. So, you'll get bored and then you'll just be a human like everyone else. You'll be the same person as me, as some random person walking down the street, but you'll just have 10 Lamborghinis. And trust me when I say, life will give you balance. Because if you experience such a high, let's say from owning those 10 Lamborghinis, you will experience lows somewhere else. You always hear of these cases where, you know, your health is your wealth. And you say that when you hear of like someone very wealthy, and it's like they have poor health. Like let's say, who's this guy? Steve Jobs, the guy that invented Apple. Like he had so many billions, right? But the guy had pancreatic cancer, so this was his way of balance. Let's say Andrew Tate. He is quite wealthy at the moment, right? Such a positive, such a big influence on the world. And he went to prison. He's being attacked by every media source available. He's on house arrest. Balance again. Everywhere you experience balance, but it's like you don't have to consciously do anything to create balance. Life does it for you. And please, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no way to bring balance into your life. You might try and do good habits all the time. You might try and be the most healthy person in the whole world. Keep track of your health, your macros, your nutrients, work out like 5 times a day, have the correct rest days, do everything correctly, don't have too much sun, like everything correctly. You have perfect balance, you may think. But for some reason, you will experience some kind of negatives. You will get sick. You will get sick. I don't know if this is a negative view, but when you try and invest too much time in one particular thing, and this might be like looking after your health, you will get so caught up in it that you will notice every little sickness that comes your way, and you will get obsessed with keeping track of your health. You'll be like, okay, I do these 20 things that you need to tick off for your health list. Okay, eat healthy, go to bed by 9 o'clock, have a circadian rhythm, read books, work out regularly, eat clean, all of these boxes you tick off, right? And what happens next week? There's another box that you need to tick off because you found out some new research that makes you healthier. And then what happens next week? Okay, another box. And week after week, you have more and more boxes to tick. And then your life becomes about ticking boxes for your health. And you're so overwhelmingly concerned about your health that you forget about all the other pleasures in life. That you forget that life exists because you spend so much time keeping track of your health that balance kicks in and you don't enjoy life overall because you're so concerned about living to 150 years. Like this guy, I don't know his name, but he's like trying to reverse aging. You've probably seen him on YouTube. He's like trying to inject himself with like his son's blood, and it's like ridiculous sounding, Loads of YouTubers made videos about him. Like he's trying to, like he put these filters in his house to filter out all the bad air, like too much. Eating like chicken and rice every single day. Doesn't eat after like 1 p.m. or something crazy like that. Goes to sleep at like, he can't even skip sleep for like 1 minute. He has to go to sleep like bang on 9 p.m. and then he has to wake up like 5 a.m. Like he's crazy. So his life became about looking after his health, and he can't even leave his house when the air pollution outside is too high. Would you like to have your life in such a mess that you cannot go outside because the air pollution is too high? There's no way that you can control balance in your life. Life balances itself out. You might have a conscious effort to change some certain habits that are negative at the moment. Okay, like let's say, where's my phone? Your phone, you might scroll social media too much, and you get addicted to social media, and you like literally use it every single hour for like half an hour. That's a lot of social media. So let's say you scroll. Your dopamine levels are like through the roof and you're so stimulated by all these videos, but balance kicks in. You stop enjoying those videos because you've seen them so much. You stop enjoying watching YouTube. It just, your life says, your body says enough. Okay? Like you keep doing this habit, this bad habit, but your body says enough. I don't enjoy this anymore. Like you had too much. Same with video games. You might enjoy playing 1 hour of video games, and then the second hour is a bit more boring, and then the third hour is kind of like okay, and then 6th hour, and you're like, wow, what has my life come to? This is boring. You're aware that you're wasting time and you can't stop, and it's boring, but that's the balance. You've enjoyed it so much. Stop, move on. But that's the way that balance comes into life, and you don't enjoy the things for too long. I don't think I explained that right. Either way, life gives you balance. I thought I'd be able to make a video and tell you how to balance your life, but it's impossible. There's no way you can achieve like 100% positivity. There's no way you can achieve 90% positivity. There's no way you can achieve 70% positivity. You cannot wake up every single day and say, I am so happy. There's no way. It's the same way you can't go to sleep every single day and say, I am so sad. Because something will happen in your life that will make you happy. It's up to us to appreciate things. To say, okay, I've been having some great weather lately. I've been having a good run at life lately, and appreciate it. Say, thank God. I've been experiencing life in a positive way. But this will only last for so long. And you need to appreciate the good moments, because a bad moment is just around the corner. And it's not like you should be conscious about the bad moment coming around the corner, but life will bring you balance. Something will happen. After experiencing life in a positive way for a prolonged period of time, you will experience life in a negative way for the same amount of time, or even less. But this will affect you the same. It will bring down your balance. We are way more affected by negative events than we are by positive events, because positive events, we sometimes take them for granted. We say, okay, this was perfect, I really enjoyed it, but it's like you take it for granted sometimes. But when a negative event comes, it's like it catches you off guard, and it's like it crushes you sometimes. Sometimes a negative event can put you out of action for many weeks, months, years. Sometimes a slight negative event can affect your life in such a way you can't even think of. But this one negative event can bring balance to 10 positive events. Life still balances out. Doesn't matter how rich you are, how much money you have, you are still the same person like everyone else. A little side tangent. Superiority. Feeling of empowerment. Feeling that you are above someone else. Oh, I'm better than you. Get the fuck out of here. You're literally the same person as the next person. Everyone is the same. Everyone has the same balance. Yes, there's people that are malicious, that are literally, they take pleasure in causing harm. And they love it. They're like devil's little minions. And there is people like this in the world that are devil's little minions, okay? But that's their balance. I feel like, we're going to talk about like spirituality, like God and the devil. But like God gives balance to people in the same way I feel like the devil gives balance to people. There's always balance for both parties. There's no way you can change balance. It's always 50-50. You might be experiencing pretty negative now. You might be experiencing a bad time in life. But I can assure you that a good moment is around the corner. You might be thinking that this is it. Life is over. I'm doomed. I've no point living. And that's, people kill themselves. And they think that's it. Life is doomed. And they're so affected by this negative event that they decide to end their life. That's what I said before. Some negative events really affect their lives. So you might say, that's it, enough. End life. But little did they know is balance was right around the corner to restore happiness in their life. Sometimes you just need to wait. Think about it. After many positive events happening in your life, did you experience a negative event that offset all the positives and created this balance? Vice versa, did you ever experience so many negative events that a positive event offset all the negatives? Think about it. Try and remember, like, in your brain, like, think about it for a second. Close your eyes and say, okay, try and remember some events. Did something happen in my life to offset experiences? To offset this balance, or to, create balance? Sometimes we try too much in life. Sometimes we try too much to be too good. We try too much to improve ourselves. And that's where balance comes in. You get fed up of trying too much, and then you experience life again. Think of your favorite thing to do. Think of your favorite food, your favorite place, your favorite anything. Your favorite person. Think about your favorite anything. Now think about spending the next 1 month doing this favorite thing. Spending time with the favorite person, spending, time in the favorite place, eating your favorite food, you name it. At the end of this 1 month, you are going to hate this food. You are going to see a lot of negatives in your favorite person, because in 1 month, you become so accustomed to them and you take them for granted. And what comes is unappreciation. You stop appreciating their time like you used to, because you've spent 1 month with them, and you stop appreciating their time. And then you start nitpicking. You start saying, oh, well, I don't really like this about, the person. I don't like this. I don't like that. Your favorite food becomes tasting bland. It makes you sick. I've said this before in my previous videos. Eat your favorite cake for 1 month. It will be your least favorite cake. And that's balance. Do something too much and you'll find out. Do something too little and you'll find out. It's like, you don't have to cautiously be worried about balance. Just live your life. This topic kind of stemmed from wealth, okay? I was always under the impression that money is not that important. That money conflicts spirituality. And not only money, but possessions and overall wealth, materialism, conflicts spirituality. That too much money, too much wealth, too many possessions, too much materialism, all conflicts spirituality. And I treasure spirituality quite a lot. It's a very important thing to me. And that's when I started thinking about balance. I started to envision myself as a wealthy man. I started to envision myself living in a mansion, driving the Lamborghini. And knowing my personality, I didn't have to think about it too long, because I knew that I'll be bored of the mansion and the Lamborghini within 2 weeks. I knew within my personality that I don't take pleasure in showing off my possessions to other people. That I, as a person, as an individual, care more about what I think of myself rather than what other people think of me. So for me, I don't want to have that. I don't want to make millions. I don't need millions. I don't want millions. I even went as far as thinking about, I've said this before in my videos, I want to pay off my parents' mortgage, okay? I want to pay off my parents' mortgage right now. Right now, I want to pay off my parents' mortgage. You know, give them whatever it is, and then they don't have to work. Okay, they don't have to work. Perfect. They don't have to work, right? Well, how else are they going to replace their time? They're so accustomed to working. It gives them balance in life. But then they stop working. What are they going to do instead with their time? Will they be able to adjust? Will they be able to create good habits that will make them happy? Or will they just become lazy and just sit around and pick up some negative habits? And this happens very often when people get an inheritance. So, you know when, let's say, an inheritance, like people die and then you get their money, and then you have quite a lot of money, so you don't need to work anymore, so you don't put in work in yourself anymore, so you're like, okay, I have lots of money now, I can do whatever I want. But then you become lazy and you start drinking alcohol to an extent that you become an alcoholic. I know some stories like that, where people got an inheritance and they didn't need to work a day in their lives, and they didn't do anything to replace that time. And then they picked up a habit that wasn't good for them to replace that time. A bad habit. And that's balance. You thought you got all of that money and now you're cool, yeah? No. This is why I think when people like, again, Andrew Tate and all of those influencers, Hamza, all of these people tell you, you need so much money, you need to go out there and make money, you need to make loads of money, you need to make 10,000 a month, you need to make 100,000 a month. Then what? What are you going to do with all that money? Life is going to kick your ass with balance. That's what's going to happen. Is this me just coping? Is that my coping mechanism, saying that saying that money is not necessary? Of course it's necessary. In society, you need to have a certain amount, but you need to have a reasonable amount. Anything that's unreasonable and too excessive and too much is not good for you, right? You need to really have some good background knowledge to be able to manage that sort of wealth. That's why you see all of these lottery winners, when they win like millions, they end up blowing it in like a couple of months and then they become homeless. Such a common theme. The same thing. Balance. So, to end this topic off, what do you do? How do you live? How do you spend your life, knowing that balance is going to kick your ass? Well, make an effort, a constant effort, not too much, a balanced effort, to improve yourself, improve your surroundings, to improve your loved ones, improve their lives by being present, by not being a drug addict. Be a positive influence on the world. That's all. I feel like this might be like another topic, right? But I feel like we're just born into this world to be a positive influence on it. That's all. All we have to do is just not be a negative influence on other people and the ecosystem, the whole world. Just don't be a negative influence. When you throw rubbish like plastic on the ground, pick it up, put it in the bin, be a good person. Don't treat people with disrespect. Treat people kindly. All your surroundings, be a positive influence on them. That's the point of life. There's nothing else to it. Whether you're rich or you're poor, be a positive influence on life. Don't take like a leech, like a parasite. Don't be a parasite. Be a contributor. A positive contributor. Think about it. Before you do anything, think. Is this a positive thing for the world? Is this a good thing? That's all you gotta do. Be a positive influence on the world, and the rest is just do what you enjoy doing. Create balance that way. Don't do too much of what you enjoy doing, because then you'll hate it. So my girlfriend, she was very much into art. She was like drawing all the time. She went to college for 4 years and she studied art. All of these projects, doing art, loved drawing. Doing art in an excessive manner for 4 years. She hates art now. She doesn't like it. She doesn't want to even draw. The amount of times I asked her to like draw with me, for fun, doesn't want to. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it anymore because she did it in excess. And now it doesn't fascinate her the same way. Do anything in excess and you're going to feel the repercussions. Do something too little and you're going to feel the repercussions of balance. You're going to feel, balance is going to kick your ass. Get you in a guillotine. Crank your neck. Slap you. Balance. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Did you get anything out of this video? Did you think about what balance is for you? Comment down below what you think of balance. Is wealth really that important? Or will you just get something and then not appreciate it, and then life will still be the same? Because I feel like life is the same for everyone. I feel like life is the same for everyone in their own way, and that everyone has their own balance. I feel like happiness is different for everyone. I feel like what is happiness for me is not happiness for you. That's what I can't teach you. I cannot teach you to be happy, because my way of happiness is not the same way of your happiness. My way of sadness is not your way of sadness. I might be like sad because, whatever reason, because I didn't get enough likes or something, whatever. Influencer, didn't get enough likes. Sad. You might be like, the hell with this influencer. I don't need likes. I don't care about likes. Just an example, and I don't care about likes. But something that might make me sad doesn't make you sad in particular. Something that makes me happy doesn't make you happy. We're all different human beings. We all experience life in a different way. All experience balance in a different way, but we all experience balance. Okay? We all experience balance. There's no way to have, weighing scales. This is good, this is bad. There's no way to do this constantly. Impossible. Impossible to do this as well. It's always like this. Simple stuff. It's always this. It's always this. A little bit like this, a little bit like this, a little bit like this, a little bit like this. Never just constantly like this or like this. Never. I'd say if you're listening to this video, instead of watching it, you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Right. We're 35 minutes in. I'd like to end this video because I feel like there's no more value I can give you. I've explained balance in 10 different ways for you to understand. So again, like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to this channel so you can see more rants and more weird videos. And then comment down below what you think of balance, and if you think that what I said is correct, or is it just complete and utter trash. That's it.